Ladies and gentlemen, we got to break something down involving Demar Derozan. Listen, we got Western Conference NBA going down right now. We got these guys on the way to fight for the right to go to the NBA Finals. We have obviously the Dallas Mavericks led by Kyrie, and we got Minnesota, led by Anthony Edwards is going down. But before we get into that, and we will be live. So make sure you tune in and hit the subscribe button. If you tuning into this video during the game hours, it should be a live icon. Make sure you click that, so you can get on to the show, get on the panel. It's very interactive. So now let's break things down real quick, man, because DeMar DeRozan said some statements that I thought was, very I think it was valid and fair. He said that Kyrie Irving, ladies and gentlemen, was the most talented player that he has ever seen. And obviously we all know all of the players that DeMar DeRozan has went up against, and LeBron James has done him dirty, on numerous occasions. But he has came out and said that he is the most talented player he's ever seen. And to be honest with you, I don't think that that's you know, like I said, that's valid. Kyrie Irving is no joke, and DeMar DeRozan, Debo ain't nothing to mess around with either. A lot of people try to narrow him into this box where he was just this, he was just that, but he is a much better player. He's shown that he can stretch out his range, to the 3 point line. We all know that he was a mid-range assassin. A lot of players today, are in the mid-range game a lot, and they're being compared to Jordan and this and that. But we just totally forget about the mid-range marksmanship of a DeMar DeRozan. So I mean, we're gonna leave it at that. But he said that when I say all that to say, DeMar knows a little something about basketball. So for him to say this is a hundred. DeMar DeRozan this season averaged 24 points per game. He shot 48% from the field, 33% from three. We all know the Chicago Bulls was a complete mess. But Kyrie Irving, his evolution, and now Kyrie Irving is just a bona fide leader. It was a point in time where people questioned that. His talent is immense. This season, Kyrie Irving has averaged 25 points per game. He shot 49% from the field, 41% from three, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and nearly a block. I think that Kyrie Irving defensively does not get enough credit, and here at Flight Sports, we're going to point that out. I think that Kyrie is so talented that the Minnesota Timberwolves might want to buckle up. It might get a little cold up there in Minnesota. I think that Minnesota, Anthony Edwards, he's been running just eight, throughout the postseason, and more power to him. We discrediting that. I think that he deserves everything that he's going out there to earn. But I do think that going up against a guy in Kyrie Irving, he has the ability to say, you know what, I'm gonna go shot for shot with you. And I think that he hasn't seen that from any players. A lot of guys, they kind of like, weather, to a guy like Anthony Edwards, his ferociousness, his, intensity. Kyrie Irving, he's played with some of them all. He went toe to toe with Kobe himself. He went, him and LeBron has had battles, internally, and they've worked it out. So he's very tough. That's really where I'm going with this. And I think he has the ability to answer Anthony Edwards when he wants to go toe to toe, when he wants to go shot for shot. I think that you have another shot maker, and I think Kyrie, he's a dog. I don't think he's a dog. So I'm very intrigued at what's going on. I think that Dallas was an unbelievable move for him. Kyrie has shown his talent, even in Duke. When if people don't even remember, he didn't even really play in Duke. He basically was #1 pick, just and he didn't. He just looked like he just showed up for breakfast, and left. But obviously, when he got to Cleveland, you see the talent. It was immense. And then people were stamping him Kobe. And then when LeBron got there, they was able to get to the finals, and he hit the shot of shots, to get them and seal that championship. So Kyrie Irving, has done a lot. He's been through a lot of trials and tribulations as well. In the NBA. So it's definitely been kind of crazy. So I definitely just, to be honest with you, all I can do is hope for the best for Kyrie in this series, because I do know that this series is not going to be an easy series to be successful in. Because they do have a lot of size out there in Minnesota. When you see in a Carl Anthony Towns, when you see in a guy like a Rudy Gobert, I mean, these guys are, like I said, they trees. They're 7 footers. But I do think that Kyrie, Luca, they're talented enough to understand how to pull these guys away from the basket. Let's not act like, Rudy Gobert at times is not a defensive liability. All of these things are in play. So it's not like they've never played against Rudy Gobert before. So that's not going to be something new for them. So it's gonna be interesting to see, man. I definitely wanted to break this down and talk this over with the people. Put down your picks. I believe that I got the Dallas Mavericks, man, to go in 7. In my opinion, I think he's gonna go 7. I think Minnesota's gonna win some games. Dallas is gonna win some games. And I think that we're going to see some major clutch performances. I can only imagine what it's going to be like coming down the stretch of these games with these players. You understand? A Kyrie Irving. I mean, are you kidding? So this is nothing to fool around with, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you buckle up. And like I said, we will be live. Make sure you tune in if you're rocking with Kyrie Irving. Make sure you subscribe if you're rocking with Kyrie, man, because I think that if Kyrie wins this championship, I think no matter who come out the West is going to win the chip. I think they're going to beat Boston, if it's Dallas, even if it's Minnesota. I think that this is the NBA championship right here, basically. Whoever wins this, is going to seal a deal in the East. You got Porzingis all banged up. He's had injury issues his whole career. It's no telling what's going to happen. And I think that these two teams are just coming with an avalanche and momentum. Yes, it's so crazy. I love this because you got both teams rolling in with serious momentum. And you got all eyes on Minnesota, but people don't realize that Dallas is going. Like I said, just look out for Dallas. I just want to point it at that. It's going to be intriguing. Also, what do you think of this Eastern Conference situation? It's going to be very exciting over there. That went to overtime. We're going to be here to give it all to you. Peace and love. It's Flight Sports TV. You already know what